What's up, crew? So today I'm gonna teach you about count stocks, how to do them correctly, and a little bit more of an explanation. Um, Also, one change that I made, I did clear out the warehouse. The warehouse is meant more for returns, um, and I also have a store called Demo, which I'm gonna change the name. I'm not sure what I'm gonna change it to. Maybe just Advance. So that'll be an actual warehouse, a true warehouse, to where everything in there means that I have it and I can actually transfer to you guys so that you can actually um so so you're able to see like what maybe you need, and we can get to you, such as speakers and just the bigger items that normally don't get shipped out to your stores. But continuing on with the count stocks, I will use the warehouse as for demonstration purposes. Gonna hit OK. So the very first thing you do is you go to inventory. You go to inventory adjustments, and you all have come here to count stocks. Now, it's not just about clicking OK. It's very important to understand all of this. So the very first thing that we need to do when we select just phones, it's selecting the right ones, and you can always tell because if you open it up, then you'll be able to see what they are. So Androids, they have the old ones and the expanded network. BYOD is not a physical device. End of life, EOL, that's what EOL means. Legacy, which means the old ones. EOL, Legacy, XP, old ones, end of life ones, but they're compatible with the expanded network. Hotspots, yes. As you can see, there goes all the hotspots. iPhones XP, all iPhones are compatible with the expanded network, the ones at least that we carry, which is 6S and above. Even though, well, we don't carry the 6S, but they are compatible. And then all these other stuff is miscellaneous. Tablets we don't have, but you can click on that one. The tracker we do have, so click on that one, and Xfinity. So now, if you wanted to take a picture of this, actually, you know what? I'll take a screenshot as well. No, you know what? We're not done. Well, these are the tabs that you have to select. Now, going down to where the bins are, we used to have a lot more, but now I reduced the size. Now, the only ones you guys are going to need is retail, return devices, and demo phones. Whenever you do a count stock, I do want you to check on the demo phones, because that's eventually what will transfer all the the live phones and all of that. But for now, what I'm gonna need from you guys is the retail and the return devices. Now, the return devices, I did clear out accessories because I noticed there was some on there. But we'll touch more on the accessory returns on another video. But for demonstration purposes, right now I cleared it out, so you only have your phones. Now, I didn't verify whether those phones you really do have or you don't. Which ones were already returned, which ones are not. So I do need you guys to verify that today. As soon as you see this video, you just make sure that it matches, and I'll show you a way to check quickly. Or if you're doing the count stock, make sure that you do all the returns as well, which you're going to have to do in the future anyway. So now that you have retail, returns, and all the devices selected, now I can I'll take a screenshot of it in case you guys forget. Give me a second to take a screenshot of this. All right. Capture. Okay, so I took a screenshot of this, so it just helps as a reference that this is phones only. Then you hit OK. What this means is it's basically going to lock your inventory, and this is why this needs to be done before hours, because if you have a customer you will have to cancel it and start over. Or even worse, if it closes on you, uh, you would have to reach out to me to unlock the inventory, because that's something that you guys won't be able to do, and something a little bit more difficult. So my recommendation is to do this before hours, or after hours. But that's all it's telling you. So you hit OK. You won't be able to sell anything neither. So that's the other part. And here's where you'll start scanning your phones and the IMEIs. What I recommend is scanning the UPC first, which is the barcode, and then start scanning your IMEIs. We put them out and start scanning your IMEIs. Now, if you miss one, you can always edit it, and I'll show you how to do that right now. But for demonstration purposes, I am just gonna paste the IMEI that I have in the warehouse, and you see how it says 1. You can always click right here and change the quantity. Now, this is how much more you're gonna want to add. So if I wanted to add, let's say 1 more, I would type in, making this one up, and then it'll change it to 2. But since that's really not a true IMEI, I'll show you what happens with that one. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just doing this, let's say these 2 phones, one that's really in stock and one that's not. And then I'll hit post. And that's it, pretty much, for the count stock. Now, just going back to it really quick, and I'll take another screenshot. For accessories, all you got to do on this one is click other accessories and on the go. They made it a little bit simpler for us. And again, the same thing. You select returns and retail. We are going to start tracking accessory returns. Again, I'll talk to you more about that on another video. But there goes the screenshot. I'm not going to hit OK because I already have account stock. And either way, it's we don't have any accessories here in the warehouse. So let me close that out. But going back to our phone count stock, once we hit that post, what it does is it throws it into this where it says reconcile. Now, you guys won't be able to do anything yet with this, but yeah, it doesn't give you permission. Okay. So I won't be able to show you with my regular login because I'm using right now my regular login. I will look at giving you guys access so at least you can see. If it allows me, if not, then it would fall more on my responsibility to and others to make sure we look at to see what phones are there. But either way, so you have it with you, the knowledge, and can understand what we're looking at when we look at it. I'm going to show you the admin view. Okay, so let's just say you did have access and you wanted to look to see what's going on. Here goes the account stock we did. Tells you the date, time, everything. You open it up, and there's gonna be 3 tabs, and I'll explain to you what each one means. Overstock means that you had a phone there that wasn't in inventory, which shouldn't happen because I'm right now I'm loading the phones on draft, and then all you guys have to do is just check and post. But if you do have an employee that let's say actually started helping you with, and they're supposed to post the inventory and they forgot for whatever reason, and then you did count stock and you find a whole bunch of overstock, that's usually what that means. Another thing that it could mean is that just a wrong thing was scanned, because sometimes we will scan the wrong one, and that's also what it could mean. Deficit, so these are the ones that are missing. And the reason why they're missing is obviously because we didn't scan them. So when they're missing, then we have to find out what, where are they? Maybe it's phones that uh, either me or Ether picked up for returns, which we're working on the solution so that we transfer them out of your store right away. But first, we need you guys to get that inventory at 100%. And then you have your matched. So this is the one that I had put in. So it's like if I had physically scanned it, which shows, all right, it's at 100%. And that's pretty much it. That's our view. That's how, we can normally tell what's in stock, what's not. Or, there might be an IMEI that was scanned in wrong or something, which shouldn't happen right now since, again, I'm adding them. But I do make mistakes as well. Maybe I added the wrong IMEI to the wrong phone. That's why every time when a phone order comes in and you click on it and draft, I need you guys to make sure that it's correct. Because sometimes I do this very quickly since I have things to do, and I'll mix up, an LG device or, maybe an iPhone. Since where I was supposed to put the XR white, I put it in iPhone 11 or vice versa. So that can happen, especially getting calls and everything. You get distracted. So make sure that you're checking that. But either way, I'm gonna avoid this because it's just for demonstration. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I recently found out is returns on accessories. So the bins, again, remember we were talking about the bins? Let me explain what each bin really does. They're pretty self-explanatory. Again, the ones that you guys are using is these three. Demo phones, that's where we're gonna put all our demo phones, all of them. Retail, that's anything that you have to sell. Now, there's something important about that part that I'll explain to you in a bit. And return devices are basically when any item, doesn't matter if it's a phone, an accessory, and sometimes even services. I don't know why they go in there. That's something that I have to find out. Or fees. Maybe we're using the wrong one. I have no idea. But anyway, they go in there. So there's two things that are of importance. We'll start with the retail. And this is important for you so that you get your correct devices and make sure that you get devices. Especially right now that there's inventory constraints. Sometimes they're only giving us 1 or 2 iPhone 11s per store. And the important part is the following. There is those situations where you or your staff activate a phone, but you never really rung it up on the system. Like you never printed out a receipt or got to that part to where you have to physically return it. So what your staff is doing, maybe some of you guys as well, as a mistake, is you're just putting that phone in returns. Now, there's two things wrong about that. The first part is that if it's an actual return, it does need to get transferred from retail bin to return devices bin. The reason for that is very simple. The program that we're on of ordering, they basically allocate us whatever they want. There's no way around it, especially right now that there's inventory constraints. So let's just say it was an iPhone 11 and an 8 Plus that you had with the situation that it's in retail, but it's really a return because they were activated before and you could no longer sell them. What they're going to see is that you have it in stock. So guess what's going to happen? They're not going to send you one when you actually really do need it. Or if, you had 2 and it still shows 2, they're not going to send you an extra one if, you really needed it. So that's the bad part, and where it affects you guys and it affects sales, because um, you physically really don't have that device, or that device isn't sellable. Now, the second part about that is the activated phones. Lots of uh, I've been getting a lot of lately, a lot of devices that are already active. That's bad because after the 7 days, I can't return it. So what VIP tells me in SPG is like, nope, that's your device. You do whatever you want. You know, you try to sell it. I don't know what you're gonna do. It's not my problem anymore. So um, that's not good, because the company essentially loses money, and then from there, uh, like I told you guys, eventually that's gonna fall on you. Um so make sure that everybody is making sure that, first of all, if they activate a phone, you have to explain to them, once you get to the SPG page and you hit submit, even if you close it out or it closes out, whatever might happen, you cannot sell that device again. You need to deactivate it. You can't just throw it in returns bin. Now, it is your job, though, as managers, to make sure that that gets deactivated. And this is another task that we didn't put on there. We did put activated phones, but it's not elaborated. So I'm more elaborating right now, because they also put these activated phones back on the shelf, and sometimes they don't put it on returns. So you have to track that and make sure that doesn't happen. Now, Ali sends a report, which is the one that I told you, MLN Consultants. That's our consultant, which basically they run a scan of what activated phones there are, et cetera, et cetera. So you will get that report to make your life a little bit easier, but I would at least check the returns or anything that you see that's open, because that's an automatic red flag to make sure that they're not activated. If they are, make sure you spend the time to deactivate it and then put it in returns. And if it's not transferred to the proper bin, let me know. I'm working on access so that you guys can do it, and I'll actually show you how that's done. But just I need for that not to happen, because at the end of the day, I don't want the company losing money, and I don't feel good about having to tell you, this is your phone, the same way that they tell me, it's your problem. I don't want to have to say that. So I'm letting you guys know ahead of time. So that's pretty much it for retail, as far as I can elaborate and I can remember right now, or just what I know and what I researched. Now, return devices, I do see a major problem with return devices. Besides activated phones, it's more of the accessories. So there's two scenarios that can possibly happen with accessories. In our policy, we do have a restocking fee. I know it doesn't come up automatic. I'll find out if that's possible, but if not, that's something that's going to have to be done manually through a code that you have to add, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be the way. But either way, there's a restocking fee. It's on the receipt. I believe it's 30%. Now, it's your choice whether you want to charge it or not, but it depends on the situation. Miriam? It depends on the situation. So, situation number one is customer bought it, they're still at the store, or even, maybe they just bought it an hour ago. They're coming back. It's unopened. It's something that's sellable again. And, you're more than, we're not here to take people's money, right? But we're also not here to lose. So what you can do is you can basically take that accessory and literally put it back on your shelf. Although it's really not that simple, because you already wrung this out. Keep in mind that you wrung this phone out, so when you return, what happens? It goes into returns bin. So if you do happen to take something that's resellable, or your staff can, they're not going to be able to transfer bins when you're not there. So it's going to be your job to check the returns as well to see, okay, what's sellable, what's not. But the thing that you're going to have to find out is what bin is this on, and likely it's going to be in returns bin because it was returned. So you can return this device if it's sellable. Everything's packaged, nothing damaged. You can put it up on your wall, no problem. Then I don't, we don't have to charge a restocking fee again. We're not here to take people's money. It's just being fair. Now, if they come back, and most of these new accessories, they're like packaged, so you have your case and you have your screen protector. Normally, we put on the screen protector, so that case that gets returned back is no longer the same value. And then sometimes we don't even have the packaging. So from there you have to charge a restocking fee because you can't sell this to somebody else the same way. Like there's just no way around it, because if not, it's a company loss. And believe me, I found a lot of returns that are just getting thrown into returns, and that's it. Now the second part is I do need you guys as managers to resell these. That's going to be your job. So you can transfer it from returns bin to retail bin, and just try to sell it. And I don't mind you selling it at a bottom dollar price because of course it doesn't have a packaging, it doesn't have a screen protector. It's just not something that's new. And now if it's damaged in any way, then that's when you could still try to attempt to sell it. But if you can't, then that's when you would just give it to me. But at least we charge that restocking fee to cover the majority of the cost of the accessory, and the company doesn't lose money. So this will be something that you guys need to keep track of, because we're gonna do that count stock at the end of the day. And if there's anything that's missing, or if it's consistently missing, again, we're not here to take anybody's money away, but the company can't continue to lose money. It'll fall on your responsibility. If it's one accessory and we see that it's can be just a possible mistake of putting the inventory in wrong, or etc. There could be many things, and I'm not really worried about that. But when I see more than 3, more than 4, and it's consistent, then that's where I have a problem. And it becomes a concern because that normally means that somebody's taken something, and it might not be you, it could be somebody else that you have in the store. And that's concerning because then it's going to be a phone, then it's going to be cash, and and so forth. So that's why we need to keep an eye on all of this, and this is where we need your help. And I'll show you, let me close this up. I'll show you the bins because you will have access to this. So it's under stock maintenance. It's still same area. Then we're at the correct store. Transfer bin. So here's where your return devices are, and then you're gonna move it if you're gonna resell it. Put it on retail bin. Then you scan it and hit post. That's it. Now there is a way to look it up too. Whatever this is selected, like return devices, I can do a bulk lookup, and it categorizes it by 2 serialized ones, which is phones and like the Xfinities and stuff, and then the standard. We're probably not going to have anything yet because we don't have any returns. But serialized, we have some phones there, which should have popped up. Oh no, I'm sorry, those are in retail because we transferred them. But for you, it would be on the other one. And you see, these are all our returns that we're returning to VIP or whoever need, SPG, that are in the warehouse. These are legit phones because we cleaned out the warehouse as well. And that's pretty much it. The whole explanation of count stocks and inventory, why it's important. um, I want to make your life easier, like with ordering and stuff. It's gonna get up to the point where our reps from the accessory dealers actually get a report as from what we sell, and they're gonna automatically place it. Then you and me, or you guys, once you get the hang of it, are gonna review that, and you're just gonna either approve it or do whatever changes you need to do, and that's really all you're gonna have to do. Just but it's gonna count a lot on you maintaining the actual inventory, because if it's wrong, then it's gonna order wrong. But what I'm trying to do is make this easier and make sure that you always have the accessories, that you're never missing anything, and that we finally get to that planogram state, which is what I really want. And it also is gonna order correctly, because there's some stores that sell more than others. So that's the other thing that is going to do. You don't have to guess anymore. The system guesses for you. And I will put up a video. The next video that I send you guys is going to be more on reporting, which I'll post a little bit later on because I have to go around. But this video right here is probably the most important one, and that's why I've been protecting the inventory so much, and keeping an eye out and not over ordering accessories and stuff like that, because it's at the end of the day, the less we lose, the more sales we make, the more money there is for everybody. So if you have any questions, guys, don't think any question's a stupid question. Reach out to me. Heather is more than willing to help you guys, but he doesn't really he's not really as involved with this project as much as I am, because again, I'm learning through this and I'm trying to make everything a lot easier for you. So just feel free to reach out to me. If you didn't get it, there's something that you didn't understand, it's fine. I want you guys to get it, because once I know that you guys got it at 100% and can start doing the accessory count stock, start taking care of all of this, then I know I have somebody I can trust and rely on, so I can move on to the next thing, and I don't have to check this so often, because it is a lot of work. Yeah, reach out to me and I'll send you guys the videos of the new reports and kind of explain to you, how to manipulate. It's also going to help you with this, make it easy. You don't have to look for reports anymore. You just have to click on the dashboard. But I'll save that for the next video. All right, guys, peace out. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Again, reach out if you need anything. Bye. What did you think?